Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rukah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations of much love to the rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out similarities in those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, Beware of the Sleight of Hand. The image I have on display is from a film I watched in my past. Of course, being in this truth, I reflected on this particular movie. It was released on May 19th, 1995. The title of it is Die Hard with a Vengeance, directed by John McTiernan. Basically, I'm going to skip right to the point. The quick synopsis is the villain of this film is the guy in the middle here. I forget who he's played by. Jeremy Irons, of course. Right there on the movie tag, movie poster. Jeremy Irons plays Hans Gruber's brother. And from the first film of Die Hard, the Gruber family was kind of notorious in creating some type of terrorist event so that they can steal the wealth or steal some money. They were basically thieves, but you would think on the outside, you think they were terrorists. So basically, that's how their schemes were. I wish they kind of continued in this kind of line with the Die Hard series, but that's a video for another series. But basically, Hans Gruber's brother was doing the same thing as his brother did in the first Die Hard. Basically, he had created an attack in New York where he was using bombs to make the cops think that, this was a terrorist and you got to do X, Y, and Z. And he had them doing all types of games. But the whole entire idea was to steal this gold bullion from the Federal Reserve Bank located on Wall Street. So our hero, John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, realized that Simon, who Gruber was calling himself, was using the bomb threat to distract the police away from Wall Street. And he was basically saying that he was going to bomb these public schools. But Wall Street had no public schools. So once Bruce Willis's character and Samuel L. Jackson's character returned, they found that Simon's men had tunneled into the Federal Reserve Bank and stolen 140 billion of gold bullion in dump trucks. Okay, so this is what the time we're living in now. Okay, with these particular false flag attacks and how they're going to be increasing very soon. And this is why I call this lesson Beware the Sleight of Hand, because it's a form of deception. A magician likes to create an illusion where you're thinking that something is happening and something else is really happening. Okay, if you spend time in carnivals, circuses, and things of that sort. I've at one point I studied underneath a mime, and the mime actually taught me these things without even speaking a single word to me. I'm not going to get into how he did that, but he taught me how to juggle. And I was just able to watch what he was doing versus actually him telling me what to do. Okay, but still he was showing me how the hands move and how you have two hands, but you got the three balls. And you have to be able to throw the ball a certain way by giving the illusion that technically there's only one ball in the air, and it's kind of hard for people to see that. But when most of the time, if you see a juggler and he drops a ball, it's only going to be one ball that's dropped. It's very rare that it's three because your two hands are holding the two. Okay, well, basically, in this particular movie, there was a scene where John McClane had realized what was happening because there were some kids that were stealing candy out of a candy store or something, or a little supermarket, a little corner store. And he caught one of the kids, and the kids made it very clear to him that he was like, oh my God, look, where are all the cops? He was like, it's Christmas, you can steal City Hall. All right. And that's what we're facing now. We're facing a time where One, all this talk about the guns and all this talk about these mass shootings and so forth. Well, you create the problem, you get the people to react, you come with the solution, okay? But it makes it easier for you to get an advantage on the people, and that's what's happening right now, because we're entering that time of Jacob's trouble. Pretty soon, whatever final, there's going to be more attacks even afterwards. I shouldn't say final, but whatever final attack or so-called terrorist attack happens, there's going to be a lot of sedition among men. When you read 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 16, it states that, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, you see that? So not regarding their kings or princes, meaning they're not going to regard the laws of the land. They're not going to regard the authorities, all the above, the cops, and all the different authorities that branches that are available. Okay, it's going to be that crazy out there that neighbors be fighting one another over food and so forth and different resources. Okay, and it's going to be so crazy because the amount of resources are going to be so limited that it's almost going to be justified. I'm not saying that stealing is justified, but even the book of Proverbs speaks of this. When you read Proverbs chapter 6, verse 30, it reads, "Men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry." Okay, and that's what's going to happen. All right, we're approaching a famine. So a lot of people are going to be out there stealing to get the food they want and the food to feed their families and themselves. Okay, but it's ultimately Esau's design to do this. All right, because he's the ultimate thief. Okay, and it's basically trying to steal the souls of the planet Earth, basically. All right, by planting his MOTB, this microchip, this RFID. Okay, when you read the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 5, it reads, "If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?" Okay. And it's like, yeah, he's stolen all these different parts of the land of the earth. Now he's trying to steal the souls and hearts of the people of the planet. Okay, and like I said, he's going to use that sleight of hand. And it's interesting when you look up the phrase of the sleight of hand, it's a cleverly executed trick or deception. Okay, the noun phrase sleight of hand is defined as a cleverly executed trick or deception, or a conjuring trick requiring manual dexterity, as well as skill or adroitness in doing these things. And that's what Esau has been blessed with. He's been blessed with that sword. He's also the ultimate deceiver. That's why he's called the devil. All right, because the devil is the deceiver. All right, but the Most High has given us this eye salve so that we're not distracted. Okay, and I'm going to bring it out. And Paul wrote about this in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 35. "And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, that ye may attend upon the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, without distraction." Okay, so as long as you're locked into this word, you're locked into the spirit, all right, you can basically see what's transpiring, all right, currently on the planet Earth. Okay, because Esau, he's not going to take heed to the law, statutes, and commandments that were given to the Israelites, because they weren't given to him, they were given to the Israelites. But Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13 specifically says, "Do not defraud or rob your neighbor." And he's not going to keep that law, statutes, and commandment to himself. Okay, just like I said, though, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11 speaks clearly about lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, so basically we're coming to a time where he's going to be demeaning the Hebrew Israelites. And you can see with these mass shootings and so forth, how he's getting to a certain point where he's changing the face of the crime, where now it's going to be starting to be Jakes that are getting involved in this thing. And a brother I mentioned in one of the other videos I was watching today, Holy Bible Defenders, he was talking about how guns weren't a problem when, the Bloods and Crips were out shooting and killing each other. When our people were out shooting and killing each other, it wasn't a problem. There was no talk about, let's get rid of the guns. All right. But then he says, the way he spins the story, his propaganda. Okay. But I'm just going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending, just specifically about the elect, all right, because the elect's not going to be blinded by what's going on, all right. It's the 2/3 that are going to be blinded and are going to get taken by the sleight of hand, and they're not going to see the actual magical trick being conjured up right in front of their eyes, okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believeth not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. Okay, just talking about that eye solve, just talking about, we're being aware of this sleight of hand. Just been waiting for a while to bring out this particular video. For anyone that's seen this movie, you probably see what I'm talking about, with the whole Gruber family and how they make one particular move as a terrorist attack, and then they switch it behind the scenes, and it's a big grand scheme to steal. All right, and just a little correlation I just wanted to bring out. Well, I just wanted to share that little one. This lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.